Good evening, my fellow travelers on Spaceship Earth. It is I am Guy, coming to you live from Applewood Station, where it is 16 degrees and partly cloudy. And I'm wondering why I didn't cut up these first. That's really strange. I'm trying to do some video editing here, just some quick and dirty video editing, but it's weird that I went through and kind of worked on trying to get all of these guys lined up properly and didn't. Hey Brent, how you doing? How are things in your part of the world? Which isn't that far from my part of the world, relatively speaking. So, as much fun as it is to lay that all on my feet, there's never really been anybody who wanted to actually take pictures of Alex. So, I could add Alex, but it'd have to be a hand-drawn stick figure for Alex with an arrow pointing at him saying, Alex. That's part of the problem. I get it that, everybody's like, but you're not doing the opening credits to include Alex. Yeah, but Alex is also not getting pictures taken of himself to boot. So, I mean, like, yeah, maybe so, but anyway. It's sort of one of the problems I'm having here. Yeah. Well. I got to go rescue James at the end of this stream, so there's that. But yeah, I'm trying a new thing here where I'm trying to do a bunch of these not YouTube, but Instagram people I'm following have these, 30-second, 40-second exercises, which are great. But there's no way to get them off of Instagram, and there's no way to get Instagram to play them reliably. So you can't just like save them somewhere to play them whenever you're like, I should exercise right now. What was that thing I was doing again? So what I did was I used OBS and then recorded all of them. And then that way I can make small versions of this that I can just use whenever I want to do the, all of these things. But like, what is it? Okay, see, that's 2 runs of the same thing. So it's kind of one of those problems. These are all Tai Chi things, and I'm very fond of martial arts, and so I figure I can probably do these. Yep, that's not his bag, but I mean, might be funny to get pictures of him like interviewing trees and things like that. Because he's never going to actually go to the con and interview people. I don't think that's his bag. But I do think that it might not be a bad idea before next season to get him to do the things and get out there and do. Yeah. So this is green. And this is yellow. You know, one of the coolest things about Premiere is that you can label things by color. So you can have a whole bunch of things that are labeled different colors. And I think that's awesome. And as long as I use the same colors for everything, technically that's a hand waving. There we go. And viola, we're done. And what's cool is I've been sorting these into smaller and smaller groups. Hey, Alfie. Bye, Alfie. It's good to see you for the 30 seconds that we see you. So, yeah, I mean, I'm, it's only, I mean, I just go on ahead and let them make the jokes, but the truth is nobody's yet kind of given me the stuff to work with. So I'm kind of like, well, I mean, we can make the jokes, but you do kind of have to give me something to work with here. Can't really just say, guy hasn't fixed the end credits. I don't know what I'm supposed to fix it with. He doesn't do any interviews, so you know, we got to do the best we can do, I guess. So anyway, that's the thing. And I understand. I mean, part of it is that he doesn't like doing that. Well, that's fine. Doesn't have to. So there is that. So anyway, yeah, I ended up with a couple of sword maneuvers in this particular YouTuber, which is cool. Tai Chi sword is very small and thin, and it's not the kind of sword I'm used to because I'm very much acclimated towards the katana as a weapon. That's a much heavier and more powerful sword than the blade that Tai Chi tends to use. So I'm kind of like, this will be an interesting effect for me. I'll either probably what I'm going to end up doing is just having a real problem trying to keep it under control. Be my first thought. And Tai Chi sword's still cool looking. And it'll be fine. And I won't hurt myself, but it's still kind of like, hey, well, you know, it's going to be one of those. Well, it's a different sword with a lot more maneuverability. So I'm just stacking all of these. I color coded all of the different types of exercises, and so what I'm doing is just putting them all together. So, because of course, the way that it works on the channel, you've got, they just kind of willy nilly show them in whatever order they want to get away, or whatever order they want to, which makes total sense. It's their channel; they can do that. That's not a problem. However, it is kind of difficult to sort this out. Right? You can have that. Not my sword. Man, those are way too big. Katana is just right for me. That is just the right size weapon. Really dig katanas. So, anyway, I don't know what else is going on here tonight. I'm just sorting stuff. I'll get back to what I was doing before in a minute, which is apparently still writing on issue 3. I didn't realize I had left it so open. Now I'm kind of like, ugh. Didn't want to do that. I really didn't. I thought I was done. But in my head, I realize, well, yeah, but you don't have like scenes that you can see per se from issue 3. Issue 3 sort of feels dull and kind of dim, which is part of the problem. So, kind of makes sense, but still, I'm like, wow, left myself just this wonderful effect that needed to be done. I'm like, that's nice. Good job, me. Go, me. Make this complicated. All right. And the problem with those two-handed swords is like the bastard sword and such is that, boy, you got to have some muscle in order for that. If you don't have the muscles for it, ooh, doggy, that'll get you. Those blades are big and not happy. Not happy muscles. Wait, what? So, all right, almost done with this project. Thank you for being patient. Once I get this project done, I can go back to my previous project, still partially done, and we can be done with all of it. There we go. There you go. We'll save this. All right. Total, I have ended up with what is it? It is 1 hour and 17 minutes of non-stop exercise videos. Unfortunately, not all of them are created equal. And so part of the problem we're having and will have is that it will end up being difficult for me to cut up later on. If you were to do this exercise regime like I've got it here, at the end of the 1 hour and 17 minutes, you'd be dead. I'm just saying. This is a lot. Not only that, a lot of the videos are, here's the maneuver. Now do this 200 times. And then that's the end of the video. So you don't actually have them doing it 200 times, you know. So I will save this temporarily. And then I will close this and go back to work. All right, we've got a couple things to notice here. Like now I need to figure out what to do about this inner ring. I think the first thing we need to do is fix the outer ring so it's not so obnoxious. Yep, that's my kiddo too. Hopefully we will do better. We didn't do so good this year. So I'm hoping for a better run next year. So once our kiddos are out, that's going to be a thing, huh? Kind of a weird sensation. Think your kid's a high schooler now, you know? We're having already discussions, though, about how difficult it's going to be for us to transport the child while still all of us going to school because, of course, Mariah has decided to go back to college too. Neither one of us could afford it when we were together, but apparently now that we're not, it's a different story. So we both can apparently afford it now. So there's that. Shrug. I don't know. I just work here. Oh, you have to travel. Yikes. You got it, man. We'll miss you. We'll miss you a lot, as usual. But as typical, our aim will improve with time and artillery. Yeah, master's. Because she actually got her bachelor's degree, unlike some of us, and I'm not bitter or anything. I'm very bitter. Not at her, but at the system for being stupid. That's true. I mean, honestly, part of it has been very beneficial to be a single dad. That has been very useful for that benefit alone. Markedly more complex, but it's what it is. It's what it's. There's a lot more complexity in having to deal with life, but we're getting there. We're doing this completely blind. Good job, me. Yeah, tell me about it. I'm not looking forward to that part either. I mean, I'm not there now. Oh, good job, me. Yeah. Why do I do this to myself? Sigh. Guess who was on the wrong layer? The question is, can I fix it? Is it worth trying to fix? Maybe. Let's see. That's usually when things work out for you. Oddly, when you're no longer concentrating on mistakes made, or trying to find somebody, or trying to whatever. Oh, those pesky layers. And I would have done it too if it hadn't been for those pesky layers. Did it delete the yellow stripe between them? Yeah, it did. Totally did. Why would it not? I mean, come on. Why why would you do something useful when you could do something obnoxious? See you later. I'll see you tomorrow night. Hey there. Big Danger Noodle, huh? I dig it. I dig the name. So far, we're doing okay. There's a lot of repetitive work going on here. How's your day going so far? All right. That's good. I feel like I'm being very risky here by not testing this. However, I'm pretty certain I did my math right. We'll see. Mapping is more of a science than an art sometimes. Or more of an art and less of a science, I guess. I am using Clip Studio Paint EX. So this is Celsius. This is their. It's for comic books, specifically for comic books. So I mean, like that's its job. It's got all the functions to operate in a comic sort of way. So you've got like the ability to do full-fledged comics in here, all the way from the very basic sketches all the way through to the final product, which is of course not what I'm working on right now. I'm using this to work on a piece of the 3D mapping, um, which I'm going to have to work on here in just a second, but that is all right. Take all the saturation out, take all the luminosity down, and then we should end up with that. And less expensive. Celsius is moving to the same sort of model that Adobe has with the subscription, but that caused a lot of backlash. So they backed off of it and went on ahead and just did that. So you can either join the subscription or you can buy this program outright. And I prefer the buy it outright. I prefer to own it. I don't like the idea of them taking it away at some point in time. So, um, as you might imagine. So, what we're doing here is we're I have taken this guy and I made an 8,000 by 8,000 version of this. Nope, that's the canvas. I need the image. So, about I think they're selling it for 200, which considering the fact that you own it is actually not horrible. You know what I mean? Like I mean, it's not awesome, but again, you own it. So there's that. Let's see here. I got it. I've had it for a long time, but I was a Photoshop user for a very long time. So But most of the same things that you find in Photoshop are here. So it's pretty much the same critter. There are some other tools that are different. There are certain things that it does that are not the same as, I'm going to make this lighter because it's hard to see this guy. There are other things that are just difficult. This is part of the problem that we're having over here is that, no, we want it to be darker, not lighter. I'm like, wait, what? I can't see it. Sorry. I'm having a hard time kind of trying to figure out what I was trying to do with this thing. All right. Yeah. So that's the thing. That's the gotcha. So when they wanted to do the subscription service originally, Celsius was like, aha, we're changing to a subscription service. And if you have version 1, you can keep it. But if you want anything else after version 2 or version 3, that's on you. And you'll have to join the subscription service to get anything past version 1. And some of the things that version 1 had that really made me mad, like the text handling tools, were really lousy. And since this is supposed to be making comic books, text handling is kind of important because you need to be able to fit them in the bubbles so that your characters can talk. And that made me aggravated. And then so many people, there was so much backlash that they actually sold a version of 2, which was $200. But if you had version 1, you could upgrade for 60, which is what I did. And then they just recently released version 3, which added a whole bunch of 3D maquettes. So you can add, and it's kind of wild. Here, I'll show you. You can add a drawing figure, like a maquette, to the actual drawing. And it adds an actual 3D model to the picture, of which you can maneuver and position and then use it. It's in an actual layer. So you can, let's put that under there. You can actually add a layer and let's say put a white layer over it just to kind of do the onion skinning. And then you can come up here and with another layer. This has got some really, really nice tools for drawing and things like that. Like if you have, I actually am using a drawing monitor. You can come in here and then just use the maquette to kind of set up your, kind of do that. Which this is extremely useful for. Just setting up sort of a basic picture. Celsius, I hope you someday see these and give me free copies of stuff because boy, I I do a lot of which this can make this take a whole lot less time. Yep, you can. Celsius does, or this does allow for it. And the best part about this is, why did I add that? Boy, sometimes I'm wondering. The best part is like you can get rid of the maquette. This used to be my profession, and now I'm changing professions. I don't mind. I used to be, I'm writing a comic. You can see it down there at the bottom over here. It's on globalcomics.com. It's called Bellatrix Rising. And it's a comic. It's a space comic. I'm a Star Trek fan, kind of hard to see, but you can see all the Star Trek ships above me. So I wrote my own comic, which is kind of, its own universe, its own world, everything like that. And so I've been drawing that comic for a few years now. And now I'm doing, I really had a couple of life events kind of hit me pretty hard. But the big thing that really hit was AI art. With AI art, I'll never be able to keep up, and I know it. And so I'm going to continue drawing my comic as a hobby because it fits my new career goals. I'm moving into anthropology, which is kind of a weird shift, but I'm going into anthropology, and yeah, it's all right. Sometimes I feel like it's about time. I think I'm done making about 25,000 a year. I think I'm over that. I was the poor artist for a very long time, and I think I'm over it. I'm tired of being a poor artist. I'm tired of um yeah, and it does. And the truth is, why would you pay me 500, $600 when you could have AI do it better for free? Um, the one thing that AI isn't going to be able to ever do is it's never going to be able to take away, or it's never going to be creative. There's no way you can make AI write a story. So I know that that's relatively safe. Yeah, you're going to make me. Yes, I intend to overwrite that. And then I'm going to go into here and we're going to take and make this very pink. But there's so much that I do with my comic and I'm enjoying it that I won't stop. And it's not going to stop me from doing my comic. There we go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to save this real quick. And save as. And make it not into that, make it into that. Save it as that. And then overwrite it. Yeah, it doesn't have a human aspect, but you know what? So many people, that's not important to them. It's simply not important. And so they don't care. It's missing a human aspect, and that's fine. They're okay with that. And as I suspected, that's all right. We'll fix that somewhere along the line. So, but now I can see into the core much better. Hit render real quick and see what that looks like. Yeah, that looks much cleaner. Except that the numbers are backwards. No, the numbers are correct. Yeah, the numbers are correct. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. And now you can see into the core. Better. Better into the core. It's always kind of a thing. This is a different program, yes. This is Daz Studio, which is a free program. It's daz3d.com. The 3D program is free. It's effectively a maquette program, so it was designed to make maquettes. And the maquettes that are here, I just have made maquettes that fit my story. And I have built all of my 3D stuff in here before I transitioned to Clip Studio. So all of my source stuff is in here. And so because of that, I haven't left it yet. I will at some point, but at the moment, the source stuff hasn't really. I haven't left the source stuff yet. Now, the question is, do I have a star in here or not? I don't think I do. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. We can make this work. Alrighty. So, yeah, we're using a different program at this point for this, which is fine. I am doing a very specialized thing at the moment. So we'll go over to what did I want to do with this? I think I want to junk shader presets, iRay, volume, no Uber, emissive. There we go. Surface sphere parameters. We'll make this a slightly yellowish star because it's always a yellow star of some sort. So there's that. And we'll make it specular black because it doesn't need that. And its ambient will be bright freaking yellow. It's a yellow star. Ambient strength, opacity strength, negative. We don't need to worry about that. Reflection, refraction. No. And it should be fine. And what should be occurring is that it should be a star generating its own light in the center there. Oh, altogether, issue one, thank you, by the way. Issue one took, I'm going to say 3 months. I'm hoping that issue 2 and 3 don't take as long. Sort of, no, I can't see it. How do I know it's in there? Not, you're not doing what I want you to do. Okay. That's part of it. Didn't actually set the actual material ID for it. That, doesn't surprise me, I guess. There we go. That's the material base color. This looks more like what I should have been seeing. Let's up that luminance and see what we get. Nothing. Excellent. I will see you later. Get some good sleep. Thanks for joining me. Still not pumping up. Oh. Yeah, you probably need that. Now it's going to be stupid bright. Now it's not stupid bright. Why is it not stupid bright? Oh, well, there is one plus. That worked exactly as planned. Well, you know what you can do is this. And then shoot from straight here and see where that ends up. Because I think yeah, you can kind of see where the impact line is on that. Oh, I appreciate you bothering me, but I'm going to block you. Sorry. Just the way it is. Nothing personal. Because that's the line in guide, which means that so this should be the feed line right here. Let's go ahead and render that and see what we get. Not really enough data. Okay. If you've entered this system correctly, as you're supposed to do, when you enter one of the systems in the stars of Bellatrix Rising, you need to enter in on the bow to the bow of the star. The problem with Moment in our comic is that the bow of the star has been disrupted. So its entry corridor is in a different place, but only temporarily. And by temporarily, I mean probably a couple of thousand years. Now, why isn't this thing lighting up like it's supposed to? See, that's not a lit star, people. All right. And why is it not ignite? Oh, because I'm not running iRay on the render. Now that star should be lit up, and it probably is lit up far more than I expected it to be. I'll betcha. Because now we've hit iRay. Once we put the iRay in, now all of a sudden the star is going to ignite, but we also have to wait 60 years for it to actually render out. Hasn't even started the first pass. Oof. So I'll just sit here and enjoy the pivoting of the chair. At the pivoting of the chair. Yeah, taking way too long. There. Pass it to the iRay. That's why I've got a graphics card, people. I think the thing allowed here to viewers, which cracks me up. I'd rather have them get something useful that they can use for artist than to get 1,000 people nothing on this stream. Although I think I've clogged up the system pretty good. Even if you're, I think that's pretty good. We've called that good enough, I think. Even if you're lurking just to have somebody to keep you company, and I keep you company, that's still worthwhile to me, and far, far more worthwhile than a million viewers. On. It looks like it's doing its job. Now I need it to start becoming mini. All right. I am spending way too much time with the pretty pictures, and I really shouldn't be. All right. There's some other important things that are not being shown here. This is the inner corona and the inner coma of just its general power of the star. That's the most dangerous piece, this inner coma. And so I have to market, but I'm also feeling kind of like, I don't know. I think I'm going to have to redo all of the lines through all of this. And it's just kind of like, ugh, this sounds so remarkably difficult. So this is that outer coma. That one gets circular right at the top and spreads backward in rings. This is starting to become one of those, I feel like I kind of need to start fresh on this one in the morning. I don't know if I've got the wherewithal with me tonight to do all of it. So I'm kind of thinking I'll bow out at this point. I feel like we got to do a couple of things here before we move to that next stage. The Twitch boys are getting annoying. Getting kind of annoyed over there on Twitch. Oh, bots. Yeah, we've got a bot that came in over here too. And it was like, well, all right, but I'm not that interested. Like the bot's sitting there saying, hey, I'll give you followers and viewers. And I'm like, I keep thinking about this and I'm like, if I wanted viewers and followers, that'd be one thing. But if I just want to help people, I don't need viewers and followers. You know, as long as one person or two people out there, like they ask a question or they get some work done or something, it's really not so bad. I'm like, that's better. I feel like I've done my job. I've done my bit. Sitting here kind of dinking around with this thing though, and I'm starting to feel kind of discouraged a little bit. And tired. I think I'm tired. But I mean, it's cool. And I get it. There we go. Let's see if this. It's hard to see. I am trying to read this. I'm having such a hard time reading my own interpretation. We are now deep in the heart of my comic book. Quite literally, actually. This is a graphical representation of a solar system with all of the hazards marked for starship navigation, spaceship navigation. So this blue ring indicates like degrees in the system. And then this green part on the front here is where you need to enter into the system for the minimum amount of damage to your ship. And all this stuff behind it in the back here is all the particles coming off the star and getting blown back by the movement of the star through the galaxy. And so that's its trail, if you will. But I'm having a hard time reading it. So I need to go through and fix all of the little lines and everything like that so that they all make sense. And so right up here in the front, this is the arrival corridor through the star in the center. So when you show up on the system, you have to effectively get in front of the star and then move through the front of the star, doing the least amount of damage. It's not actually damage. It doesn't cause damage to the ship. It's just that with these particles, the faster than light warp drive, whatever you want to call it, doesn't work as well and loses efficiency until it stops working altogether. And so the more particles the fewer particles you can fly through, the better you can go further at faster than light speeds, which is important because space is big and people just don't quite get how big space is. So and though you may have multiple stars in the system, and they will all be pointing towards the front of the galaxy, they may not all be aligned the same way. And so your entry points might be different depending on where that star is. So this might be a local map, although this guy is way too close. Right? Something like that. Which might be the entry corridor. Because it all depends on the poles of the star and which way the star is rotated. It also occurs to me that it could twist so that the top is spewing backwards and the bottom is kind of doing a hook to get that, depending on where the polar alignment is for that as well. So, oh, but I think I'm done. I think my brain is cooked for the day. It's been a long day full of trying to get my kiddo graduated. My kiddo's graduating, and so we're going through a lot of last minute hurry scurry and stuff like that, and it's kind of exhausting actually. So I think I am going to bow out for the evening, and then that way I can go to bed and be up in the morning for the morning show, which will be at 9 a.m. And hopefully I can retackle this at 9 tomorrow and feel better about it. Because right now I'm kind of going, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. The entry corridor is going to be the same. It's always going to have to be in the front alignment of the star, but I'm realizing that I could probably have all kinds of different versions of that. I mean, our solar system is off by 22 degrees this way, tilted backwards. So at 22 degrees off galactic, that means that the top polar piece of our star trails further than the bottom polar piece. Just means that it's a different croissant shape, so to speak. Either way, it's just the croissant piece that would be tilted. Everything else would still be the same. It does mean, though, if you think about that, an entry corridor might be down angle quite significantly. I need to think about that. Because that blue disc right there, the green part and the orange part will always be the same. But the blue part might tilt along with the upper portion pole pieces. So those pole parts might be different. Now I'm thinking this through and thinking, oh gosh, I need to redo this model. It's all right. I've been thinking that one for a while because I've been sitting here looking at it going, why did I map it like this? You know, but the more I think about this, the more I think that the polar alignment of the star might be tilted. And if so, might read differently. Also, would 0 degrees be aimed at galactic center or would it be in leading? And I think that 0 degrees would be at galactic center, which would mean most entries into the star would be at 090 or 270, because that'd be galactic leading. Yeah. Yeah. So your entry points would always be sort of at 270, and then whatever is your up and down, which will change because due to how the star is operating, how the star behaves. Huh. Okay. Well, we got a minute or two. Now I'm opening yet a third program. None of those. This is getting creepy. Not the way I expected it to be. Let's go out on here. Right? Well, that's not what I wanted to see. That's, in fact, not a good thing at all. All right. Yeah, well, you know what? There's another one of those. I can die mad about it, or start building up. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to shrink this guy down to about here. Go like this. Go like that. Go into edit mode. Select just those guys. And we'll just go straight up. And thus we will create the polar arc. Excuse me. All right. Here's what we're going to do. Got now a north and a south pole operable. And then I'll add a mesh. Add a mesh. I add a cylinder. I'm going to pull it out over here. We're going to increase its scale quite a bit. Like that. I do a rotation on it. Okay. I move it over here. There we go. And then I'm going to copy and paste it. And this one we're going to shrink. Nope. Z. Paste. Ready? Nope. I want you. Copy. Paste. There we go. I'm going to take you. We're going to shrink you down. And bring you back up to about there. And then go to this side and say poof. And then we're going to take you. I say you. And we're going to add a modifier Boolean. We're going to knock this out of the center. Wait, what? You. Difference. You. Hit apply. And then we can knock this guy out, right? Which gives me a donut, right? No problemo. Add a mesh. We're going to take a cube. I'm going to scale it all the way up. We're going to scale it up again. There we go. And take this and move it over to here. Take you. Say Boolean. Do the same thing. Difference. And we're going to nuke out that guy. And apply. We can delete him. And what that's left me with is a half crescent. This half crescent then, I'm going to go ahead and select it, go to edit mode, and I'll grab this, bring it all the way in like so. Then I'll grab this and I'll bring this in all the way like so. And what will happen is we'll end up with a ring that'll tell me what your up angle and down angle is when it's done. I'll make this transparent so it won't look quite as chunky because it looks pretty chunky right now, but we'll get there. And that's all right. At some point, it'll be an up angle, down angle sort of widget. And that'll be a thing. And what'll happen is that the star now will rotate up or down on that pivot, and that'll give you your entry corridor. The entry corridor then will be a marker on this where this will all be one unit. And that way, if we take all of these guys, the next thing we need to do is the same thing. Add another cylinder. increase its size. But this time, instead of tilting it or doing anything to that sort, we're going to take this and we're just going to show. Whoa, 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 whoa. Back to object mode. Now, add high. We're just screwing stuff up all over the place. There we go. Now we increase his size because this guy has got to touch the edge of this, because this is the solar system extension, right? This is the extension of the solar system. It goes all the way out to this line right out here. Here we go. And we'll put right there. There we go. So this then becomes the solar system line. So we can put the solar system in here to indicate the planets moving around. What are the planetary setup? What is the planetary setup for this star? Yada, yada, yada. And no matter what, your caveat up angle is going to be kind of weird. Okay, so this is the internal piece of our sextant, so to speak. Oh, I don't need the light in this. I really, really don't need the light in this. Here we go. Nor do I need a camera. Stuck in the middle of all of this. There we go. Can I group this? I feel like I should just make this all the same. Just Boolean them together. Looking at this from this sort of point of view, though, we do end up with an interesting sort of. It looks very much like a sextant, which makes some sense, and it should. It should look like a sextant. All right. I think I have done the damage that I want to do for the moment. Yeah, see, now I'm starting to zone out. I think I'm tired. All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and bow out, my friend. I will bow out. It's good to see you, Your Royal Highness. I hope that I see you again. I will be back on tomorrow morning. Same bat time, same bat channel. In the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful evening and a wonderful day if you're on the other side of the world. And as always, keep your eyes on the stars. Goodbye.